So let's focus on what do we need to do for the non-calculation questions for the final exam. There will always be a question related to ethics in your question. You're going to say, why is that? Well, the reason you need for that is you need to kind of look at what is the subject supposed to be delivering for you. So if I go and look and show you, we have the final exam that is supposed to test learning outcomes A, B, C, and D. So to test learning outcomes A, B, C, and D, we need to go and see what are these learning outcomes A, B, C, and D. Well, one of the questions is about evaluate project management requirement phases, techniques, and processes, and a project management life cycle. So something like we talk about agile or the traditional project management. We're trying to kind of make some analysis and evaluation of these various techniques. Something like applying the IT project management concept methodology, something like a calculation exercises we might go and give you. Something like, we go and see here, compare and contrast alternative project management methodologies, again, something relating to agile and Pinbook. And something like identify and employ ethical practices of project management. Again, something basically to bear in mind about ethics. So if I was to go to the final exam, you'll see there are questions, for example, relating to ethics. And you will need to go and choose, usually I give you 2 out of 3, so you would usually need to go and choose two out of 3 questions from part B. But the first question, for example, is about discuss with examples the importance of ethics in managing and delivering information technology projects. Now, it is not a way where you're expected to give me only a very quick summary or small answer. It's about giving me a detailed answers. I would recommend probably at least 1 page where you write and talk about the ethics of this and you provide various examples. Obviously, you need to manage your time and see how much time you have left, but it is not a short answer question. It's about providing a lot of details about those particular questions. So I would like you to go and start working on this first question here. I would like you to provide a lot of information about it, and we would like to basically go and have a look at your answers to be able to go and evaluate them very shortly. But it is not something I'm going to give you a few minutes on. I'm going to give you 20 minutes on this question because I really would like you to ensure you allocate a lot of time for this sort of question for your final exam. So your time starts now. On a Word document, I want you to answer this question, and I would like you to save a copy of that on the Word document on your computer. So I'm giving you 20 minutes for this exercise, which starts now. Please start working. Any questions, guys? Great. All right, guys, I would like to see who can give me some responses now or show me the answers that they've done for this first question. Are we done?
Haven't finished, sir, but I have something.
Okay, do you have a page?
Was getting there.
Okay, I'll give you 5 more minutes.
Okay. Your mic's muted, sir.
All right, share your screen and show us what you've done. All right, examples of where ethics. Any copying from somewhere?
Sorry, sir?
Any copying from anywhere?
This was based on the information I collected for my assignment.
Okay, but no, you're not copying anything. You're editing it and you're using your own
Yeah,
words,
I'm using my own.
Perfect. You see where you're talking about quality trade-offs or you know, these particular things you're talking about here?
Yeah.
I would love to see maybe just kind of don't brush them quickly, just provide some examples.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's about it. Like this answer is detailed, is in depth. We're trying to discuss various things. I would give you a mark for it. Obviously, just a few other examples will be very helpful.
Yeah. So what I was meant to do is I was supposed to explain all these. These are my examples, and
Yeah,
I meant to explain all of them in this paragraph.
that's fine. So I think that's a part. So priorities of yeah, I don't think you're providing very, I think your examples are very brief and very quick. You don't
Yep.
need to cover so many things. You might basically cover just a few things, but you actually go and cover them well. That would be much more better for me than covering too many things, but don't actually cover them very well. So that's what I
Okay.
would actually prefer to go and see.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Make sense?
No problem. Thanks, sir.
Anybody else would like to show us their answers? Anyone else? Oh, thank you, Hisham. Uh, okay, so you see where you're talking if the sensitive data is leaked. Can you see that section?
Yes, sir.
Can you give an example?
So, for example,
Don't need to tell me now, but that's what I'm telling you. Like,
Oh.
don't brush it quickly. Just sit down, give an example. You know, that's what I like to see.
oh, yeah, noted.
I'm not very sure about this second paragraph. There are various faculties. I'm not very sure about this paragraph.
So the employees are treated unfairly.
It's not very clear, your point. More influence. Yeah, I don't think you kind of. I understand what you're trying to say, but you didn't really make your point very clear. Okay, I think you need to kind of make it more clearer what you're
Yeah.
trying to say. It is unethical, for example, to go and actually try to treat people as more important than others. For example, we're going to go and have testers, designers, project managers. We need to make sure we're going to go and create an equal environment. If we're going to go and work unethically and actually not treat people in the same equal manner and appropriate manner, it is going to actually go and result into people not being very happy, and it is going to kind of go and affect the performance of that project negatively. So something like this, something a bit more detailed
Yeah.
than what you basically want to mention here.
Okay, sir.
Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So handle big amount of data, misusing this guy. Yeah, that's all right. And in terms of project management, if we go and talk about people not reporting the correct information about how they are performing as a project, that could be a negative thing that we also need to go and consider. That's another thing. But there are some good ideas here. Some extra examples would have been very good, but you're going on the right track here.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Matt. Anybody else? Anyone else want to share their screen?
Yeah, I can share.
Yeah, Macon, thank you. All right. Man, I like your main topics. Well done, brother. Very, very
Thank you.
good. I actually
Thank you.
liked how you kind of went and you created the structure to take about more than one topic. Brilliant. Awesome. Well
Thank
done.
you, sir. Thank you.
Champion. Who else want to share their screen? Anyone else? All right. We're going to now go to do a second question. This is going to be the last question we're going to go and be doing for today. And that question relate to maybe this one, discussing which project management methodology is better, PMBOK or Agile. So this is what I would like you to go and work on. Again, I'm going to give you, maybe I'm going to give you 20 minutes, 25 minutes for this question to be able to kind of get an answer that is really complete. But obviously now you're trying to give an answer without really having went and actually studied in details any of it yet. But eventually you're going to go and study a lot of that information. So we're going to start working on this question number 2. So
Yep.
it is an open book exam, but there's no copying whatsoever. So any copying we see, it's going to be, probably will lead to 0 for the question that has any copying whatsoever. So please make sure no copying whatsoever. So it's got a question asked if you can take anything from the lecture slides. You cannot copy anything at all. So yes, you can go and read materials that is relating to the lecture slides or anything like that. This is all correct. That's fine. But you cannot actually, you cannot copy word by word. You need to use it in your own words. You need to basically edit things yourself in your own words to be able to go and get the answer correctly. So no copying whatsoever, even if you basically say that content is available on the lecture slides. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys?
No, sir.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay, so let's continue working on that specific question. All right, guys. I want to see some answers because I need to move to the next part now before we basically finish today's session. So do we have any answers that are ready? Anybody could share some of the answers, please? Kevin, okay. Yeah, perfect. All right. Is that Hrishav? Okay, so Hrishav, which one? Why are you stopping sharing? Do you want to share it or not?
Sorry, it's like I'm getting confused with the screen. Which screen is it?
It's like you're teasing me. Look at it. Don't look at it.
Sorry.
Okay. So the question is, discuss which project management methodology is better. So which one do you say is better?
So, Agile.
Agile.
I did
Why?
my recommendation here.
Okay, I don't like the way it's framed very much, because what I like you to do is when you actually go and make a point,
Yeah.
I would like you to go and link the point together. So if you say, for example, Agile methodology focus on making the customer happy by delivering quality products. Perfect. Then give me a point about the traditional. So compare it straight away to traditional. Don't give me a section for traditional and then a section for Agile. Link them together because you're comparing and contrasting. And you cannot compare and contrast if you're doing one side by itself and one side on the other end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that's what I do recommend. It's good you're making a recommendation at the end, but just make sure you try to fix that specific item through.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, anybody else want to show me the answers?
So is there a possibility this question would come in exams? Same questions?
There's definitely, you won't get exactly the same questions, no. You'll get potentially something similar topics, but nothing is actually exactly the same.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Is this, who's this? Kevin? So again, you're talking about
Yes, sir.
Pimbook by itself. And where's Agile? Which one is better? Okay, let me see the section about which one is better. Okay. The main question, let's look at something. The main question is which one is better? How much did you actually answer on which one is better? Not much.
Yeah, not much. Yeah.
Does that make sense? So you actually answered a lot of stuff, but not the question.
Yeah.
And that's why you need to kind of sort out something like this, because you need to kind of make sure you're focusing on answering the question mainly to be able to get the best marks you would like to get. Make sense?
Yep.
Or any other questions?
So would you recommend instead of having the two sections, because what I did in the two sections was I gave like benefits and drawbacks to Pinbook, and same thing with Agile.
Same as when I said to the colleague, like I don't mind an introduction of Agile, an introduction of Pinbook, but then when you want to make a point about them, I like you to be comparing them next to each other.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really the most important thing.
Yep.
Make sense? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, anybody else want to show me? How are you, Shinanie?
I'm good, thank you.
All good? You happy?
Yes.
You comfortable? You're gonna go and get me a high distinction?
Hopefully.
For hopefully. So you're not confident?
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
You want me to make you more confident? You have the highest mark comparing to every single person in this subject.
Really?
Kevin and Macon.
Wow.
Kevin and Macon.
Yes, sir.
You're like very, very close behind her. Like
wow.
very close. Like
She's past the unit.
if we go and talk about Kevin, he's like 0.33 marks behind Chinane. So there's a big competition. Who's gonna be the number one? And then Macon is like another 0.7. So between Macon and Chinane there's 1 mark, and between Kevin and Chinane there's 0.33 marks. So who's gonna get the highest mark? Or maybe Aisha is gonna come and kind of get 40 over 40 on the final exam. She's gonna kind of kill it. So who's gonna kill it? One of you is gonna kill it. I want to see great outcomes. I'm actually very proud of you guys. You've done a great job. Are you proud of yourselves?
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Great. Do you guys have any more question about the exam?
Sir, so not that it's gonna happen, not that I want to jinx it, but in the case that, let's say, our Zoom cuts off, or something goes wrong, can we still reconnect?
You could definitely still reconnect, but try to make sure you're live all the time. You need to have the camera on all the time. No one could tell me I'm on a fan or I'm on whatever. If there's no camera, you don't get a mark. So it's very, very important. You are basically live on the camera.
Yep. Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Any other questions?
So for the last questions, it is asking to introduce 2 tools. So I can explain Trello and Slack for project management tool.
You can explain Trello and Slack. Definitely, there will be 2 options you can actually go and talk about.
Oh, thank you, sir.
We might want to talk about other stuff, but these are 2 options.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Anyone else? All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time.